So today's opening batsman is Dr. Shilpa Totla, and her topic is preparing powerful presentations. Dr. Shilpa is essentially an entrepreneur and a practicing pathologist at Kushal Pathology Lab in Aurangabad. She has done her MB, DPV, and MBA in HR and hospital administration. She has her Pan-India healthcare recruitment consultancy services, and she has given talks in various local, state level, and national conferences. She is a recipient of numerous prestigious awards as a best medical or healthcare recruitment professional.
Thank you so much, Ravindra sir, for that generous introduction.
It was my pleasure.
Exactly. In the year 1987, 34 years back. Can you guess this Shilpa, who is presenting to you all the art of presenting powerful presentations, was standing exactly, the scene is in front of you, in standard 7th. She was representing her school for an inter-school elocution competition. Everything was well set, perfect. The script was wonderfully drafted, lot of wonderful vocabulary, quotes put by my wonderful father. The script was ready, entirely mugged up, and the script was ready in my hand. If you see the picture properly, you will see that. And I started representing my school. For 1 minute, everything was uneventful. And I don't know what happened. And what were the neurochemical changes? And I went blank. I absolutely forgot everything. I didn't know what to do. After around 10-20 seconds, I gained my consciousness and I realized that, oh, I don't have to worry. I have the script in my hands. And so I took the script in my hand and started reading. Now, there was one more shock which befell me, and that was I had forgotten even the skill of reading. I did not even comprehend what was written in that. That was a day, exactly in the year 1987, when this Shilpa, the baby Shilpa, decided, boss, this is a lesson learned for life. Elocution, public speaking, presentations is not for you. It's not your strength. Some people are God gifted with this strength, and I am not the one. Fine. I called it a day. I said a sorry, and I walked off. There onwards, since the lesson was learned, multiple opportunities came to me, but I just batted them because the lesson was learned. I'm not a public speaker. Then what exactly happened? And I here, after 34 years of that incident, is presenting this topic to you. Something happened around 10 years back, and in a forum where I was sitting in an audience amongst 200 people. It was a landmark education. I was amongst all types of peoples, all types of educations, and all standards of people. People were called upon on the stage to share their experiences. So my neighbor went, so many people went there and shared their experiences. But I, Shilpa, no, lesson was there in my mind. People went, shared, their vocabulary was not that good, their accents were so-so, fluency was so-so, but fine, they were gaining all the applause. That day, something pinched my heart. I had to rethink about the decision that I had taken 24 years back. And I started thinking the other way around. Is it really an inherited or a congenital or a gifted skill? No, it can be acquired. I started my path, my research in this direction. And soon I understood that I can acquire. The problem there that happened in that seminar was that these people who were relatively undereducated were known to the entire 200 participants within a matter of 2 minutes. And I, being educated, was not even known to a person. How can that be? That was something which hurted my ego. And I started my journey towards public speaking. Friends, not boasting, but since my topic demands, let me tell you, in the past 10 years, after that event, I have delivered nothing less than 500 lectures. Shilpa, who had went blank, some years back, started gaining confidence, and I became pro in that. Friends, why am I here? Why me? And why am I here? Because I told you what is my experience, and just to share some of the pictures from what I have done, so that it's not to show off, it's just for you all to understand that someone who is speaking has had some enough experience, and I want you all to trust. And it's not to impress, it's to inspire you. It's not to inform, it's to transform you. Friends, why this topic has been chosen by me? Even I am a pathologist, I could have given anything inside of pathology. My career inside pathology is 21 years long. I could speak on anything, but I chose this because I understood this is the need of the hour, this is the need of the doctors, need of the pathologists also. I have been associated since 10 years. I did my MBA in HR, I did my MBA in hospital administration, and I have been now associated on one hand with the community of doctors, and on the other hand with the community of HR and the corporate. And you know, it is very disheartening thing that we doctors, in spite of so much of intellectuality, are still behind in the 20th century when it comes to the art of presentations. And the corporates are in the 21st century. So my commitment today is here to bridge the gap between the corporate world and the doctor's world, and bring everything from this to our world, and make our presentations also very, very inspiring and imprinting. Friends, this time when I took up the CME, I took up a mission. I'm not here just to speak to a handful of people here and do my job and go off. I'm here with a commitment that if I talk, it makes a difference. So the mission that I have taken is that in the next 2 years, I want to do this presentation in maximum doctors' communities. And inside of that, the outcome that I want is minimum 50% of the presentations here onwards should show a sea change. What change? You will come across as I move ahead in my presentation. So friends, I need your support in this mission. I just want you all to show some thumbs up so that I understand that you all are there to support me in that mission. And this mission, you understand, is not for me. It is to make a difference such that our speakers make a difference to the community. Can I see some noise, please? Maybe in the chat or maybe in the form of thumbs up. Are you ready to support me in this mission? Let us doctors present something which really inspires. Thank you so much for the response. Let's move ahead. Friends, I want to take a poll here. Piyush, can you please help me with the poll? How many of you here remember the takeaway points of the last webinar that you attended? I want you to be very honest. A poll will be shooted in front of you. Please reply to that. How many of you remember the takeaway points of the last webinar? Piyush, can you help me with the polls, please?
Yes, ma'am. And starting it now. Please click on the polls button and you can answer your question there.
Have you shooted the poll? Have you launched the poll? Because I'm not able to see that. Maybe the participants are seeing.
And
Piyush,
there's a
is the
polls button below on the lower bar. Beside share
I will
screen.
have to do that. I'm not seeing anything like this. Okay, I saw it now. It's not opening up. Maybe we take the answers on the chat. Maybe we
We
see
are
the
getting
answers on the
answers
chat.
over there.
How you're getting answers where?
Yes, we have 38 entries as was
Poll is coming on the screen, but it is saying that panelists
Okay.
to the poll opinion.
Okay, okay, fine. I got it. So Piyush, please do tell me once the poll is done. The question, I will repeat the question. How many of you remember the takeaway points of the last webinar that you attended? Piyush, is the poll complete?
There's still answers coming in, sir.
Yes. Yes, Piyush, you were sharing the results of the poll.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
There are out of 76 people, only 30% say that yes, they distinctly remember the last webinar's takeaway points, and 70% don't know that.
Wonderful. So, as was expected. Now, friends, when I'm speaking here on a forum where people are pathologists, MBBS, and a graduate, and a post graduation, there's no question about the IQ of the people. It's definitely one of the highest in the society. Then, what is the reason that only, 70% people are not remembering the takeaway points? The reason is not you and your IQ and your memory. The reason is the technique of presentation. I told you, we are using the technique of, and when I say we, it is overall community of doctors, and nothing wrong. I'm not here to blame, complain. I'm here to just show what needs to be added, what needs to be modified so that it becomes better. Okay. So 70% are not remembering because somewhere the technique of presentation needs to be rethought about and modified. Let's enjoy a video here. And what happens when we see some presentations or some speakers whose energy is low? This is what happens even with us. Is this audible, Piyush?
A little bit, ma'am, raise your volume.
Okay.
Raise your max volume.
World War II हिस्ट्री का लेक्चर मेरी तो बैंड बज जाएगी 2 लोगों के 3 बज रहे हैं अभी तो साला एक पूरा घंटा निकालना है मेरे को वहां पे फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर वाज वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर वाज वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर वाज बिफोर वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 एंड सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर वाज आफ्टर वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 ओके गुड सो अगले चक्कर में बैठो 16 अब तक से 5 मिनट अगला लेक्चर तो बंक मार रहा हूं मैं। What was cancel? 2-1 तुम्हें बड़ा कौन सा? 2 ले लो 2 जीता। 15 मिनट हो गए 15 मिनट हो गए, बस ऐसे और 3 आखिरी 15 मिनटों से गुजरना है, उसके बाद आजादी। अक्षय कुमार गोइंग और तुम
So friends, if we all want that our audience, participants don't sleep this way in our presentations, please be with me. I assure you, by the end of today's talk, you all will have a lot of insights and new ideas of what needs to be done and what needs to be not done. Today's roadmap is going to be this. I'm going to tell you about the different types of presentations, the non-verbal communication, the verbal communication, and the PowerPoint presentation. And then we will move to the take-home message. So these are the different types of presentations. Let's move to the first type of presentation, and that is the appearance, the non-verbal communication. Now, when I say appearance, of course, I'm not going to say you the mundane stuff, dress professionally, dress formally, look this, look that. No, you all know that. I'm not here to tell you what you know. I'm here to tell you something which is not known to our world. And the very important fact that is not known to most of the people is that the non-verbal communication constitutes to 93% weightage. 3% weightage in creating an impression, in creating an inspiration to the people. So non-verbal communication, what is that? I'll soon come to that. And then what remains is the verbal communication, the content, the script that has a weightage as low as 7%. These are the researches which this is a scientific research done and the figures have come from there. So what exactly is to be done for improvising our non-verbal communication? So today's era is somewhere we are on the verge of physical and virtual meetings. We will soon be starting physical meetings. So let me tell you, there are some points in common when we are presenting and when the non-verbal communication is taken into consideration. And the first thing is smile. Smile, it is contagious. Smile shows how much interested you are in your topic. And if you are interested, people would be interested. Eye contacts, though it is a PC, though it is a laptop, you should know that you have to see there and not into some script which is there on your desktop, on your tabletop. Open body language. Friends, let us do one small experiment of some 5-6 seconds. Just take your palms in front of you. I request all of you to please cooperate with this. Please take your palms in front of you and observe the palmar surface. Observe the palmar surface. Just do this for 2 to 3 seconds. Now, please take it, upside down, make it upside down and see the dorsal surface. Just see this for 2 to 3 seconds. I want some response in the chat. Which surface, the palmar or the dorsal was better? Which was better for your eyes? Which was peaceful for your eyes? Please. In the chat, please. Palmar. Yes, we are getting the response. Maximum people are saying palmar. And yes, so this is the experiential learning. Science also says that the palmar surface is something which gives peace to our mind. So if we want to become peaceful, if we want to relax, please use this surface. Please use the palmar surface. And one more fact is that when you use your palmar surface, people feel connected. Your audience feels connected. So one more problem, one more challenge that our speakers faces, people are not able to connect, or audience faces, they are not able to connect to the speaker. This is because we are missing out with these small tricks and tips. So use your palmar surface and your body language starts appearing open. That's what is open body language, simple. So use this and you will appear a very open type of person. What else? Loud voice. How is confidence displayed? Loud voice and a vocal variety. No one wants to listen to monotonous and mundane speakers. People want vocal variety, and only if that is there, your concepts will pierce their brain and sit into their memory. So use this. Now, friends, there's one secret tip that I want to share with you all, this close community of 195 doctors. A secret tip that I use, and I am really successful every time because I use this tip. I'm sharing with you all because you know what is my mission and what is my commitment. The tip is that when it's okay, even if I'm not the best, it's okay. This fact makes you all the more better and excellent in your presentations. And mind it, this tip has to be used at the 11th hour. Like when I'm standing here, I was saying this to myself. It's okay if I'm not the best. It's okay. But when I was preparing, I wanted to be the best. And so today you are finding me relaxed because I don't want to be the best. It's okay. It works wonders. And the last thing is be confident, be excited. Excitement is contagious. All is well. You have always heard. So for an effective content delivery, what is needed? We must relax, we must be authentic, we must be enthusiastic. We must practice, practice, practice. It is said at least practice it 10 times, and better to practice in front of your people, in front of your friends, and take feedbacks, or at least capture videos, observe it, so that every time you practice, you are a better and a better speaker. Write the speech the way we would normally talk, long, very complicated jargon words, we feel they impress, but no, we are not here to impress. So use very simple vocabulary, simple language, and use short sentences. Now, we always say infuse confidence, we should look confident, but no one says what to do to appear confident. It's a fact that even if there are seasoned public speakers, there is some amount of anxiety before starting the talk. So what is to be done to infuse this confidence before your speech?
इसको बेवकूफ बना दे। लाइफ में कितनी भी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो, उसको बोलो कोई बात नहीं, सब ठीक है, ऐसे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं, लेकिन उसको झेलने की हिम्मत आ जाती है।
So it's very simple. Just say to yourself, all is well, and झेलने की हिम्मत आ जाएगी, आपके चैलेंज को झेलने की, आपके ऑडियंस को झेलने की हिम्मत आ जाएगी. All is well, all is well. Friends, one more very important statistics, since I know I'm speaking to intellectual people here, and doctors want statistics. What's the proof? Everyone wants that. So from the perspective of the audience, let me tell you, the biggest fear, according to the research, the biggest fear worldwide that was found out was the fear of public speaking. So if you are one amongst them, no need to worry. No, there are many like you who have the fear. But I told you in the beginning, it's an acquired skill. You can conquer your fear and acquire this skill. Now, what is one myth that has kept so many people aside from public speaking? One is fluency. I'm not fluent in my English. I cannot be a public speaker. This is a myth, number one. Second one, extrovert. I'm not an extrovert person. I like to be working with my slides, with my microscope, with my, books. I'm not a person who can speak up, and it's okay. It's something to be done by extroverts. No, there are so many introverts who are good public speakers. So be happy if you're an introvert, you still stand a chance. An experience that public speaking is something which only experienced people can do. ना बचपन में ही शुरू करना चाहिए था, तो फिर कहीं कुछ चांस था. Again, it is wrong. I've shared you my real life story along with a picture that I have started just 10 years back. Just 10 years back, and I've taken so many opportunities, and with every opportunity, I'm learning and growing and upgrading myself. So this is a myth. Don't put these barricades, don't put these into your legs, and don't stop your growth if you are a victim of these three myths. Now, what we saw was common for virtual and physical presentations, but there is something which is very important for physical presentations. What are the things that we see when it is a physical presentation? The first very important thing which is seen is podium. First very important thing is podium. How many of you here, like to use the podium? Can you please use the chat box? How many of you like to use the podium when it is a physical speech? Please. Okay, so most of the people use the podium when it is a physical speech. Of course, yes, it is there for us, but it goes against the rules of non-verbal communication. You have to connect to your audience. You are just seen this much when you are using the podium. How can you connect to people? How can people connect to you? It's not about you connecting to them. It's about how can they connect to you if you're not seen. So, and for especially people like me with this height, people say when I stand behind the podium, people say we could see only your eyes, Shilpa. So what's the use of having a podium there? So podium can be used to keep your laptop, to keep your script. If at all some mishap happens, you have the script there on the podium, but podium is not for you to hide behind. Please do not use the podium. This is one thing which I wanted to really come and tell you. The second thing is then what to do? Walk and talk. Come in the center, walk, relax. If you are relaxed, you will do that. Only then people will feel connected and you will be able to engage them. One very important thing which comes as a side effect of using a PowerPoint presentation is the stage lights. You're on the stage and the lights are off because you are telling the people, not you. The PPT is important. PPT should be seen. If this is what was the fact, if this is the fact, then why the hell have you prepared and come here? Arrange, just share the PPT in the groups and come out of it. No, if you were not important. So please mind this. We will be soon. If fingers crossed, if we are entering into the physical world once again, please see to it. Please make sure of course, you're going to carry a PPT, but see to it that the light arrangements are such that at least there's some focus coming onto you, because you want to use your 93% of your gestures, body language, expressions, all that should be seen. And so please do not allow anyone to put off the stage lights. Now, when we come to the world of virtual presentations, what is important? Standing. Friends, think of all those motivational speakers, think of all those YouTubers whom you really, admire, who inspire you, who motivate you. What do? There's one thing in common, and that is they stand. You all will believe in the science that standing, when you stand, your velocity is different, your body chemistry is different. When you sit, you are relaxing. So if you want to show your passion, your interest, your excitement, please kick off the chair, and stand up, and immediately you will see some increase in the energy, in your energy, and hence in the energy of the audience. So please stand. If it is virtual presentations, interact through chats and polls. Whether it is a physical presentation or a virtual, using the chats and polls is important. After all, you need to make sure that people have not slept as had slept in the history lecture. To use the chats and the polls, Zoom has given us every such opportunity. Now, the third very important thing for presentations is use virtual backgrounds. How many times we have seen that, people in the home are seen, moving here and there. So not every time that every person will have a wonderful plain background at the backside. So just don't worry. You need to accentuate the virtual reality. This is called as accentuating the reality. Like you are seeing so many Macs behind me. If I close my virtual background, you'll see what are the facts. So I'm not going to do that anyway, but accentuate the reality by using some virtual gimmicks and use the virtual backgrounds, or at least blur them. And then, immediately the corporate touch comes to your presentation. The next thing in the presentation is content, the script, the verbal communication. Though 7% of it, though 7%, but yes, it is important. Without the script, how can we move ahead? But one very important thing, one very important fact that is missing in today's scripts, in every script, in most of the scripts, is that most of the scripts are there to inform. Most of the scripts are there to inform. Now you will say, of course, what is the entire purpose of having a webinar, coming and attending a webinar? If your purpose is to inform, then what is the use? I mean, today, gone are the days when people wanted information. They have the information in their hands, in their fist. Now, people want the right information, the specific information, and they want to get inspired. They have squeezed out their important time because they want to get inspired and not to get informed. We are not here to impress. We are here to transform. So see to it, when you jot down your script, see to it that there's a giving attitude, and inspiring attitude. And you will see that the script changes its form once this is the attitude. Because people in the audience are sitting here not to listen who is the Shilpa Totla. They are here to listen what is there inside in this for me. They are here to listen, how is it going to change my life, my opinions, my decisions tomorrow onwards. They are here for this reason. And so please be careful while drafting your script. Now, of course, these are very important. These are very common things. Still, I would like to reinforce that this is how your speech structure should be. There should be an introduction or opening, which should be 15%, 70% of the body, and 15% should be given to the conclusions. This is one more thing. Most of the time we see this is missing because we don't have time, we have overshooted time, or we have so much of content that we feel, no, I don't have time for concluding. So no, friends, whatever it is, you should have 15% time reserved to conclude because people are going to remember how you opened and they are going to remember how you closed. And you are here because you want the people to remember what you are exactly wanting to say. So please give importance to all these things, to the speech structure. Now, when we talk about the opening of a speech, the opening has to be this powerful. It has to be energetic. And if not energetic, at least it must spark some curiosity. It must spark a curiosity. And friends, therefore, you must have seen, I did not start with any salutation, good morning, good evening. We can put it, yes, there should be salutations. We should do this. The respect to be given to the dignitaries, to the core committee, to the participants, but it should be done anywhere after 15 seconds, because there is one more science which I want to tell you. And the science says that you have got only and only 15 seconds to hook your audience. If you want to hook your audience, if you want to set the tone, you've got only 15 seconds. So please do not waste this very important time of your speech. 15 seconds should be something where you are using some engaging talks. Where you're using some engaging talks. I will soon share to you what are engaging talks like.
Yeah.
So when we prepare, we should remember one thing, that what we should not do. So what we should not do is we should not delay to prepare. You should be ready at least 7 days before with your PPT, so that the next 7 days are just to think, to organize. The subconscious is working on it, and new ideas keep creeping. So you should be prepared well in advance. Avoid to wait to prepare. Avoid to use filler words like like these. Use effective pauses, but don't use these filler words. Avoid to talk fast, because you are the domain expert. You are the subject expert. You have become all the more because you are preparing. But people here are not the experts. So go slow. Don't go fast. Don't be soft. I mean, the voice should not be soft. I told you, confidence is displayed by a louder voice. Don't forget to make eye contact. Don't use distracting mannerisms. Don't have low energy, and don't misuse the visual aids like the PowerPoint presentation, which I'm soon going to come in my next section. So when you're making the content, what is very important? Generally, what people do is gather. They gather from all the sources. They, of course, know so many things, though they have opted for this talk. They have been given the opportunity. Plus, when they are preparing, they gather from all the sources, and then the PowerPoint presentation becomes a very big thing. But one more misconception is, or one more concept that I want to say is, less is more. Less is more, friends. The more the number of facts you say, the less it goes into the memory. So less is more. What we should do ideally when we draft a script, bring in all the points that you had already done it. Maybe let's say there were 200 different points, and cut it to maybe 50, and further sit into the audience's shoes and think what is really very important for them, and then bring it down to 20 to 30. So cut, because less is more. Friends, actually there was supposed to be a poll, but in the interest of time, I'm not taking it here. So friends, see, this is how we see most of the PowerPoint presentations. Again, there's a disclaimer. I'm not here to blame anyone, to complain, or to criticize anyone. It is just a trend which is going on. And even I was something like this some years back. But I told you, because I also am in one more touch with one more world, the corporate world, now I know how do they present. And so I am here to transfer all that information from this world to that world. So this is how our PowerPoint presentations appear. So this is not a very good example of a slide. So what should be there? If that is not the good example, what is the right example? There should be at the most 1 point per slide. Don't worry about how many slides there are going to be. There should be 1 point and then one visual to be added into it, so that people are not busy reading your script. They should be busy listening to what you are about to say. So 1 point per slide. And if at all it was not possible, then use animation and open up one after another, the points, so that the other points are again not distracting the people. It is said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yes, is that not true? When we see pictures, how would it appear? How would it appear if Rajkumar Hirani would have told us the story of Three Idiots in 2 lines only, that Zindagi mein success ke piche mat bhago, excellence ke piche bhago. This was one concept that we learned in Three Idiots. And the second concept of do what you love the most. Just 2 lines. But why a 3-hour video, 3-hour movie was prepared? And why the fact remains that we all remember Three Idiots movie and the concept that was taught over there. This is because Rajkumar Hirani knows that 65% of the people are visual learners, 30% are auditory learners. So if 65% of visual learners, so use images, use videos so that it goes and fixes into people's minds. %90 of the information, one more science says that 90% of the information absorbed by the brain is visual, visual, and visual. So use visuals, use images, and when you cut your story, long story short, and you just have 20 points to say, not that you're just putting your points and moving ahead. Every point, try to give some facts, some stories, some created, some from outside, but don't rush with your information. Don't rush with your information. So with this, I would like to conclude my session. The take-home message today was or is present to inspire, not to impress. Focus on your non-verbal speaking skills because they are 93%, they carry 93% weightage. So body language, expressions, gestures, non-verbal speaking skills. Make your session interactive. Make a powerful opening and hook the audience. Avoid cramming the slides with too much of information. Use high quality visuals and videos to pierce the spectators' brains. And last but not the least, practice, practice, practice. I've seen out of my own experience also that we think I am ready with the PPT and I will do it well. Finally, what? I just have to use a PPT, read it. So friends, please remember, PPT is not your script. PPT is a prop. Use it as a prop to enhance your presentation, not to dampen it by just reading it. So PPT is a prop. Then, and if you want to engage your audience, if you want to have a powerful presentation, then you should know what is next going to come, what is the next line, what is the next video, what is the next picture. So for this, you need practice. And how many practice sessions? How many practice sessions are required? Any guesses in the chat box? Ideally, how many practice sessions should be done before a presentation? Can you please write some numbers in the chat box? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 5. Okay. Yes. People are really enthusiastic. Our audience is really enthusiastic. Yes. Depends. Okay. Great. So maximum number of people are right. You need to have 10 practice sessions. And yes, I had told this. I know the answer was already told. I was just seeing how much attentive you were all. So 10 practice sessions are required because only then you will appear a pro in your presentation. So for this, I have a wonderful video for you all to show how practice makes man perfect. We all know this, but just to entertain you all and just to reinforce this, why and how practice can change someone, let's move ahead with this video.
आगे जरा आगे तेरी भूल से ही दुश्मन डर डर भागे सखी सुखी सुखी सोना कुंदन बन जाता है क्या बिरला ही कोई दाव लगाता है होते हैं लैंड दे की दहाड़ है सब जर्रा जर्रा तू पहाड़ है लहरों को जकड़ लैंड दे को अकड़ लैंड दे फटे चक लैंड दे ओ चक लैंड दे आज फटे चक लैंड दे ओ चक लैंड दे सूरज को तक लैंड दे ओ तक लैंड दे आज फटे चक लैंड दे अब रुकना है कोई खास दिखा जलवा
This is how, if you practice, everything is possible. You can start it right now. It is never too late. Friends, I hope I could do justice what I say, what that I walk my talk. Let's hope. And with this, I would like to conclude. I would conclude my session. Thank you for your patient listening. I would like to have some feedback. There's a feedback form that I have put onto the chat box. 1 second, let me make it everyone. I would like to really listen something from you and get some feedback, because I have told you my mission is to transform the community, to transform the presentation skills of the entire community of doctors. We are very intellectual people, but somewhere in this particular area, we are lagging behind, and not a big deal for us. Only thing that was missing is that we were not aware of what is to be done. And my mission, let me reiterate, is in the next 2 years, at least 50% of the presentations that are happening across in this entire domain of doctors should have such types of presentations where the cramming of the slides with words is less and it is more to inspire and to transform. So please help me with your feedbacks so that I can become better next time. If anyone has any questions, you are welcome to ask me. Any questions? Thank you for your, I'm seeing the response on the chat box. Thank you for encouraging. And thank you for letting me know that I'm on the right track. I need your support. If anyone in any other specialties want this, I'm ready to give it to them, and so that we all transform. Thank you so much. I think there are no questions. Let's stop my screen sharing. Please help me with the feedback once again. And over to you, Desai sir.